So, Julia,
Hey.
we've worked together, how many times? 2 or 3 times now?
I think 2 times.
2 times.
Yes.
And so I know your hair a little bit, know your personality, and as I explained to you on the casting, the whole project that we're doing over the next few days is about us having our ideas, but working in collaboration with you and your hair to make those ideas feel right for you. I'm kind of being guided by the hair just as much as I'm guiding the hair with the technique. And I think that's what we want to do with the placing of the colour. It'd be great to go in and place some shadows and some slightly darker pieces, maybe where the spring splits, maybe where the hair naturally likes to be brushed back here at the hairline. What do you think?
I think that would be great. You can see already it kind of wants to sit really nice like this. That little shadowed hair looks beautiful. So
Yeah, if you could just turn your head here. Though. Yeah, this is interesting to me.
Yeah, this here. So almost combing this on very naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And then any little bits that kind of fall on top here would be lovely to just see here, like this little piece here wants to fall out. Mm-hmm. Using the toner to just kind of guide that through, very fine soft pieces, just to blend this through with a little bit of a shadow here, but very naturally, just visually seeing where the hair wants to sit, combing it, using your hands to kind of bring that through.
Once we've cut your hair, there's lots of, because I know your hair, there's lots of like nice pieces of movement. Yeah. So it's about looking at them and going, okay, I suppose it's tailoring the toning, right? In the same way you might go and get a tailored suit or shirt or whatever, or dress, it's going to feel better because it's only for you. And I think that's the type of kind of pre-lightening tone that we want to create.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you've been there, how long since you were 10 years old, did you say?
11.
11, you've been reaching it. So you're the expert, so we've got a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Section the hair into 4 quadrants from the centre and behind the ears. With Julia, her hair was quite thick, so we've actually sectioned this into 6 sections just to make the application easier. Starting at the nape, apply the Formula A onto the mid-lengths. If the regrowth is more than 2.5 centimetres, a small mid-lengths application is necessary. Once Formula A on the mid-lengths is applied, it should appear a dark yellow before proceeding with the regrowth application. You're looking for the colour of an outside of a banana skin. Apply Formula B on the regrowth, starting at the back quadrant on the top of the crown. Repeat the same technique on the remaining quadrants. Go back and cross-check all your previous sections. A pro tip is when you're applying, make sure you don't overlap your lightening product onto previously lightened hair. Underlap rather than overlap, because when you're cross-checking, you can go in and add any sections that you may have missed. Check every 20 minutes to ensure the lightener is developing correctly. Once the palest yellow is achieved, rinse each section as required.
Okay, so where are we up to?
So we've finished our pre-lightening service after our mid-band and our roots. I'm so happy with how it's lifted out, considering it's so dark. The roots are quite big. It's come out such a nice clean surface to be able to tone with whatever we really want to now.
There's areas of Julia's hair that don't even look like it needs a toner, like it's so clean and pure.
White and raw and looks great, yeah. I would like to neutralise that old mid-band that we had first. You can still see a very, very slight shadow with a little bit of warmth where the hair was so white beforehand. I wouldn't want to neutralise that first part of the root. I think it's perfect. It's just tapping in here on that mid-band.
You're always avoiding the root and then avoiding the ends, especially on a band like.
Yes.
Okay, so once you go through, neutralise the bands, so then we've got an even cleaner. What we will do at the next stage, we will comb into position, we will look at all the movement and anticipate where I'm going to put the haircut.
Yeah.
And then that's when we'll start looking at where we're going to place the shadows and the detail. It's almost telling you where it wants to go anyway.
Exactly, let the hair lead the way.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Apply Formula C first to any bands if needed. Once your warmth starts to shift, you can then apply to the regrowth area first and then to the mid-lengths and ends. A pro tip, to avoid over-pigmenting the fine hair at the very front, apply this section last.
That neutralising process
Yeah.
that you've done through the band is spot on, I think.
It's just touched it just enough, and we've got a really amazing toner to complete that kind of shadow and take pieces for the ends. So just slightly a quarter of a shade darker on the parts that we're going to comb kind of through the root, and any pieces that we're going to pick out through the ends, it's just a quarter of a shade lighter.
So when we think of the shorter layered haircut with the longer length through the front, that can kind of sweep back and be pushed back, this is what we're kind of accenting, this bit here. These are not going to be the ends. These are when I've cut the hair, this is going to be away. So this is the end through here. So I think when you're placing those roots is great, but then just be aware where the ends will land, I think is the key.
Yeah.
But this, we know we're going to keep this. We said in the consultation earlier that it's a really beautiful movement and wave. So let's think about, if you see how it combs here, yeah, it's this shape. If you can just take a look at the side of Julia's hair.
The little wave.
Yes, down and up. It's that, and starting probably at its most concentrated there,
Yeah.
and then diffusing out.
And then almost picking out these pieces here,
Yeah.
that want to kind of naturally stand out themselves.
Yeah.
And we can take smaller, finer pieces, really natural and soft. And if there's any bigger pieces that kind of want to fall out, we can take that and we can twist it. So it's not quite saturated. So when it's combed afterwards, it's a lot more natural and soft.
What are you thinking for formula-wise?
Well, we've mixed and tested a 921 and a 1034. Opposites kind of attract, and that kind of, they neutralise each other, but in a nice way, and it kind of gives it that dusty gold. So it's not like a raw...
The champagne type.
Yeah, beigey champagne, so it's not like a raw gold. They really complement each other so well.
I think even when you go in really blonde like this, it's nice to just have a few things that just bring it back down to earth.
Down just slightly, yeah.
And good?
All good.
Final stage.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Apply Formula C using only a comb and your hands. A tip. For when you're choosing the pieces you want to colour, observe the natural fall above the ears and around the face. Processing time is 20 minutes.
With Julia's haircut shape, I want something that has a lot of structure through the back and sides, but with an explosion of freedom and texture through the top. I begin by taking a horseshoe section just above the curve of the head, dropping slightly lower at the crown area. Taking vertical sections beginning at the front hairline, I begin creating a square layered shape using my razor. I follow this travelling guide through to the back, maintaining a square cutting angle. This means that the shape of the back of the head will naturally increase the length through the nape. I then repeat on the second side. I then wrap dry through the back and the sides so I can understand the natural movement of my shape when it's dry. I then take diagonal sections through the back of the nape and graduate the length in, refining to create a tighter, more fluid shape. Using the back of the comb to refine the front hairline provides a little bit of tension. This means when I remove the comb, the hair contracts slightly and creates a softer perimeter line. Julia has naturally very thick hair, so I go through with the thinning scissors to reduce the width. I apply heart of glass sheer glaze through the top and wrap dry. This is done as I want to use the points of my scissors to create this free shattered shape, and this works best on dry hair. Using vertical sections which pivot around the head, I remove the length, but again creating a seamless finish to the ends of the hair. Deep point cutting is done to create structure and texture throughout the hair. These shorter pieces of hair will act as a support to the longer, finer lengths. I channel cut from the top to the sides. This is done to achieve what I would call a disconnected blend, where the top and the side don't completely meet, but they aren't so separate either. At this point in any haircut, it's about instinct. I'm switching between thinning scissors, small pointed scissors, razors, feeling the haircut as I go, constantly combing with a fine-tooth comb to understand the shape and if it flows in a flattering way, understanding the weight, understanding the amount of texture that's going to be needed to create the variety of styles that we want to do with Julia's hair. This instinctual work, this knowledgeable hands, is what is so important when creating any haircut shape, but in particular a shorter structured textured shape like this one. I apply more inside medium hold pliable paste and use my hairdryer and hands to go through and expand the texture that we've created through Julia's hair. When I'm happy with the shape, I add a final layer of more inside dry wax finishing spray to enhance the overall texture further and also to give that extra little bit of hold.